Welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to do more of an educational video rather than a makeup tutorial. And the reason I decided to do that was because I was asked recently how to know the difference between your skin undertone and your skin tone. They're two very different things. And they also asked me how do they determine what their foundation is. So this video is more for those who are learning the trade of becoming a makeup artist. Sometimes listening it from the teacher isn't enough, or it's hard to understand. Different people explain it very differently. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do this video. I will also be inserting pictures as long as I go. Also keep in mind that what I'm explaining to you or what I am going to be teaching you is what I myself learned in school, because I did go to a makeup school. So this was taught to me as well as doing my own research and different tactics or different ways of finding my skin tone. So if you are searching for a way or want to know a way of how to determine what your undertone is to find the proper makeup foundation for your skin tone, then continue to watch. The most typical way of finding out what your undertones are, and it's something that I want to say a lot of people use, is looking at your veins. So if you look at your veins right here on your wrist, you're going to be able to tell whether you have purple or blue veins, whether you have green or olive veins, or if it's somewhere in between where you have like a purplish with the bluish in there. And that's how you're going to be able to determine what your undertone is. So if you look at your veins and you see purple or blue veins, then your undertones are cool undertones, which means that your skin has very subtle tones that are either pink or blue tones. If your veins are the color green or olive green, you are warm undertones, which means that your skin contains subtle colors of yellow, gold, or a tinge of peach. Sorry, there's a helicopter. A tinge of pink. If your veins are between a blue, a green, or a blue-green, then your undertones are neutrals, which means that your skin tone has subtle colors of, I want to say, all of them put together, which is the pinks, the reds, the blues, the yellows, the golds, and the peachy tones. And you would ask yourself, if you're a neutral, why do you have all of them or all of them combined? Is because if you would look at the color wheel, the primary colors of the color wheel together, you're going to get a very dark brown. It may look like a purplish at the beginning, but if you add a little tiny bit of white, you're going to notice that it turns brown. And being a neutral, neutrals are browns. So your skin tone contains all of those put together. So that's one way of finding out what your undertones are. Another way is by your jewelry. If you either have silver jewelry which you can't really see this one. So I'm going to show you my ring. So my wedding ring is a white gold. So if you have white gold or platinum or silver jewelry on, and you see that it favors your skin tone, then your undertones are cool undertones. And if you wear gold and it favors your skin tone, then it means that your undertones are warm undertones. And if you can pull both silver and gold, then your undertones are neutral undertones. Okay, so the third way of finding out or getting to see what your undertones are is by using different color fabrics. So you would have to be based off of the color wheel. So you would have to go to a fabric store, purchase all the colors of the color wheel, put it against someone's skin and show them or see yourself visually which colors favor them. If you put the color yellow, red, or orange on yourself next to your skin and it favors you, then again, you are warm undertones. If you get green, blue, and violet, and you put it against yourself and they favor you, then you are cool undertones. And if you're a neutral undertone, then any color fabric that you put against your skin is going to favor you, because your undertones are all neutrals, they're browns, and everything goes with the color brown. So it's a lot easier for somebody who has neutral undertones to play with color. So just a run through. The first way to find out what your undertones are would be, one is the color of your veins. The second one would be looking at your jewelry to see what color favors you the best. And the third one would be, of course, the fabric and the colors to see if they favor your skin tone or not. So your skin tone, which is the surface tone of your skin, is going to be either light, medium, tan, or dark. So there's only 4. So that would be your skin tone. So I myself am a medium or tan, between a medium and a tan, depending on the season. So your skin tone actually changes as the seasons of the year change. So you can be light one day and you can be a medium or a tan during the summer. So it all just depends on how much your skin has exposure to the sun. So that is a skin tone. Your skin tone changes with exposure to the sun. The undertones are tones that are very subtle within our skin. So once you determine what your undertones are, it's going to be a lot easier for you when you go to Target, Walmart, Sephora, Ulta, or MAC to be able to determine what foundation to go with, whether you're a warm, whether you're cool, or you're a neutral. So Target has a name. Well, the L'Oreal has a name, and then it has the letter and a number. So it's also easier for you to determine what your foundation is. And in MAC, I am an NC42, and it's very tiny, so I'll put a picture down below or down here. I am an NC42, again, neutral, cool. And you also have to keep in mind that a lot of these foundations do oxidize. So if they do oxidize, then I would go a shade lighter. So when it oxidizes to your skin tone. Now here's another piece of advice. As a makeup artist, I have seen a lot of women go with the shade of their skin when they're looking for a foundation. You go out in public. So if you have a paler face than your skin, then you're going to have a pale face, and then they're going to look tan the rest of your body. I would recommend that you look at your chest area right here and go with what you have here or here. So when someone's looking at you, they see a uniformed face, not a uniformed face, like a uniform shade. So you're all even. So you're not one shade here, and another shade here. So you're all pretty much the same. And I would also drag it down just a little bit. If you get to the T of what your shade is, you won't have to drag it down, but sometimes, you know, just to be a little bit on the safe side, I drag it down just a tad bit just to blend it out, and I don't see those lines. So that's another tip. Okay. So when I was talking to you about the differences between the skin tone and the undertones, and I mentioned the skin tone is the surface color of your skin. Well, to have the minimum of 2 different foundation shades to 4 different foundation shades. And again, this depends on how much sun exposure you get. So normally when the spring and summer come, I'm more outdoors. Except the summer, it's been crazy, so I try to be inside a lot more. But I still do get exposed to the sun, and when I do get exposed to the sun, I'm exposed for long periods of time. So my skin tone does change a lot from winter and fall to through spring and summer. And winter, again, not too much of a drastic change, but this one is darker than this one. And you can see this is a W6 and this is a W5, and here is it says sand beige, and this is sun beige. This is what I'm saying. So if you put them all, they don't look too different, but when you put them up close to each other, you're going to see the different shades. So these are the 4 different shades that I use during the entire year. I have the maximum of 4 different foundation shades. The minimum is 2. And it all depends on how you work with your makeup. If you use bronzer to even it out, tricks that makeup artists learn how to do when they don't have the actual foundation that they need. A lot of the times it's not that easy. Using a shade that's 2 times lighter than the actual person's skin tone, because then you have to go in with the bronzer and bronze more. Those are the 4 different shades that I normally use throughout the year. And again, they're not that dramatic, except for these 2 right here, because I can always range from an NC 35 to an NC 42. Sometimes when you go to a makeup school, or when you're learning makeup or watching YouTube videos, those are some of the things that aren't explained to you, that throughout the year you can have the minimum of 2 different foundations, the maximum of 3 to 4. So those are just a little pointers from me. Those are just little things that I myself have learned when I attended school. So I hope this information helps you. If you are just a beginner at makeup, I highly recommend for you to be patient. Take it easy. If you feel like you're getting frustrated, step back, take a deep breath, regroup, and go back to what you were doing. Go back to practicing, learning, studying, it's a process. It takes a long time. I myself was in school for about a year or more just in makeup alone. But I did it all. I did social makeup, I did fantasy, runway, I did characterization, and I did special effects. So it's a process. So if your passion really is becoming a makeup artist, take deep breaths and practice. Practice, practice, practice. You're not going to learn all of this in hours. It's a lot of information. It's a lot to take in, and it takes time. It takes time. So if you're doing this for your personal self, enjoy. I hope this really helped you determine your undertones. If you still have questions, whether you're a beginner makeup artist, whether you're doing this for yourself, if you still have questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. Pretty much it. I think I covered everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to go and subscribe to my channel for more videos if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time.